Hello, everybody. I am Adam. Welcome to the Vintage Sanctuary. I got a card in the mail today, a card that I have wanted for a long time. And I'm not just saying this to be melodramatic or to hype or try to get more subscribers or more views or whatever. I mean, I appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate those who watch and have liked and commented. But I'm not really trying to grow a channel. I mean, if it grows some, that's cool. I'd be happy. But I'm just trying to connect with people, have fun with vintage baseball cards, have a channel that hopefully people will enjoy and they will have a wonderful and peaceful time. An alternative to a lot of the hullabaloo that's out there in the world. And I'm seeking to be my authentic self. And to be open about it, I think on some of my videos I have nailed that. And on some, I don't think I did so well. And, I'm not trying to get down on myself. I just don't think I hit the mark on some of my videos. But that's one of my big goals, is just be my authentic self. And so when I say this card is absolutely glorious, I really believe that to be true. In my humble opinion, I don't know that I could overstate how glorious this card is, at least to me. So, yeah, my big goal again, to be my authentic self. But right now, I am on cloud gem mint 10 because this card is so glorious. I've been talking for almost 2 minutes. I'm going to talk some more, but first let me turn this camera around and let you check out this absolutely glorious, stunning beauty. It may not be a Grail, but it is absolutely glorious. Did I say that? Stan Musial. So his 1953 Bowman color card was his last mainstream card until his first Topps card, his 1958 All-Star card. But in between, a dog food company put out what might be the most glorious Stan the Man card of them all. I mean, wow, this is the so shiny of vintage cards. His eyes have a red that glows, that vivid, glorious, bright red background, the way it matches the red on his uniform and the red cardinals on his uniform. Stan the Man, one of, I think, easily the top 10 Major League Baseball players ever. I know others have said this. I'm certainly not the first. Heck, probably nothing I say will be, the first person that said it, but that's okay. I really think this guy's still underrated. I know his cards are not cheap. And why is he underrated? And such an amazing person. Perhaps the most consistent hitter ever. 331 lifetime average, 3-time National League MVP. I mean, he has all the accolades. 3-time World Series champion. Held several records, including hits and I believe total bases. I think runs scored. I could be off a little bit. I'm doing this from memory. Just a number of National League records when he retired. And what else does this guy have to do to be considered in that upper echelon of Hall of Famers? Now, maybe you consider him that way. I don't know. Maybe most people consider him that way, but his cardboard, in my mind, still does not reflect his place in Major League Baseball history. I don't know. Tell me what you think. If you want to, maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe his cardboard prices do reflect his place in Major League Baseball history. I'm thinking maybe it's because Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams, contemporaries of his, were from New York and Boston. But yet, Stan Musial was playing in the Midwest with the St. Louis Cardinals. And then when Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle came along, they were flashy players. And of course, Mickey Mantle has such a story, and, well, really, Willie Mays as well. But they were flashy players playing in the mecca of 1950s baseball in New York. So maybe that's why Stan Musial, I don't think, has gotten his due yet. Does he need to be more flashy? Did he need to be in New York or maybe Boston? I don't think he ever led the league in home runs. So maybe that has something to do with it, but he was incredibly consistent. Had it not been for missing all of the 1945 season in the Navy, serving in World War II, he would have almost certainly been a 500 home run club member, but instead he landed at 475. Second in the National League at the time to Mel Ott, who I believe had 511. And I think he would have ended up with over 2,000 runs scored and 2,000 RBI had he not missed that season. And I mentioned this before, I believe, but such an amazing person. So I still do not think Stan the Man gets his due. But you know what? That's great news for you and I, because if that's true, well, let's scarf up these Stan cards now. And this card that you're looking at can actually be found, without paying too outrageous of a price, especially if one is patient and gets an ungraded copy or a lower grade copy. Well, let's check this beauty out. This is an SGC4, and it's got just a little bit of corner wear, and it's got that natural antique toning. And the centering for this issue is just off the charts. So many of these are poorly centered on the front, and almost all of them are centered to the left on the back, like this one is. This card, well, I keep saying what this card is. Let the card speak for itself, Adam. Wow. So this came up at auction a couple of weeks ago, and the bidding went high relatively quickly, and I thought, well, I'll probably pass and wait for another copy. Frankly, I thought I would have to pay a high centering tax because this card is so well centered on the front for the issue. And I'm sure I paid some for the centering, no doubt, but not as much as I anticipated. I had pretty much written this one off and figured I like well-centered cards, but I don't need one this well-centered. I can wait, that's cool, and I can get one that's not as well-centered as long as it has a vivid, clear image and has a nice look. That'll work just fine for me. But I bid at the last minute or the last few seconds, and I bid not that much more than the high bid that had been hanging around for a day or more. And lo and behold, I won this absolutely glorious beauty. And I don't know if you can tell, but I might just be on a certain cloud number, like cloud gem mint 10. And you know what? I mean, I'm not the first to say this, but this card might just have the perfect eye appeal. I mean, if this were a PSA 10 or an SGC 10, of course it would be in better condition. There's no question about that. But would it have that slight little bit of antique toning? Or what if this were an SGC or a PSA 6 or 7 or 8? It may not be as well centered as this on the front, because the centering on the front of this card, okay, now I'm going to be melodramatic. The front of this card was centered by a higher power. God centered the front, the devil centered the back. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Anyway, okay, I don't think that, God or the devil did the centering. I'm just joking around. But, if this were a 6 or a 7 or an 8, would it have that centering on the front? I don't know, probably not, maybe. And it's got just a little bit of antique toning. It's even, it's natural toning. It's got just that little bit of corner wear. This might just be the best possible eye appeal for this card on the front. Now, it's got a couple of little, I think, factory black kind of blotches or whatever you can see if you look at the card. They're not on his face. They don't bother me. In fact, I think they add to the appeal as well. So I guess I probably should end this video at some point because, you might want to move on with your life. I really appreciate your time. But I am on cloud. I'm not the cloud. I'm on cloud Gem Mint 10. This inspires me to get more Stan Musial cards, but of course I want more cards of a lot of players. Thank you for sharing in my joy. I hope you had a wonderful and peaceful time here in the Vintage Sanctuary. I know I certainly did. Take care, my friends.